I am doing another get ready with me. I hope everyone is good on this beautiful summer day that you are hopefully experiencing as well. I thought I was really good on time, and then I just did my eyebrows and I took like a really long time to do them. I should just go get my eyebrows done because there's all these like stray hairs and I'm like trying to compensate for that, and it's like a whole agenda and it's like not working the way I would like it to. But anyway, check-in of the day. I hope everyone is doing well. Just putting on my pink Becca corrector. Trying to slay away all the eye bags. I've had one of the most productive weeks in my entire life this week. So that is amazing. I'm like feeling really, really, really good about my productivity. I'm feeling pretty good about the level of content that I was able to put out in a short amount of time. I don't know. I'm feeling good about myself. I'm feeling like I'm smart or something. Okay. So I think I've mentioned this on these videos before that I really like to do concealer before my foundation. I'm not somebody who believes in this the concealer after foundation thing. Whenever I've been watching myself in these videos recently, I keep on seeing myself like pick at my nose a bunch and like wiggle my nose around and stuff, and it's because I still have congestion right now. It's slowly going away. I was giving a presentation today and I kept on realizing during the presentation that I had to cough because I have this like cough that like if I'm talking, it's like it's not bad at all, but it's like if I'm talking just myself for like a long period of time, then it like kind of creeps up on me. And I kept on like pausing because, and I like can feel it happening right now, like creeping up on me right now. I kept on pausing because I was like trying to like somehow beat the cough from like that, because I was giving a presentation online, like a webinar, and I was like, I cannot. Nobody can see my face, like nobody knows what's going on with me, so you can't just be like coughing up a storm, like this like really intense cough like in the middle of your presentation. Whenever I like presentations, it's always like interesting to me because like I always see that people are looking at me on LinkedIn, and every single time that happens I'm always like, oh my gosh, I need to update my LinkedIn. Are you guys all about LinkedIn? I feel like I never fully got on the LinkedIn train. I mean, so you guys don't know me, but if you did, and actually, I mean, the people watching this actually probably do know me, I feel like, because strangers don't really watch my videos, but so I remember, so I have a master's in public policy, just putting that out there, and I think it's one of those degrees that like so I accidentally left this foundation in my friend's car, and she gave it back to me the other day. This is the MAC foundation that I was complaining about having lost the other day, and I think it was sitting in her hot car. Whoa, okay. The consistency of this is like entirely different than, wonder, oh, I don't think this is going to be a good makeup day, guys, is what I'm realizing. I really want it to work because I really like this foundation. I mean, at least I know because they matched me in the store, so like at least I know now that I have the tube back, at least I can, you know, go out and find the right color if I want to buy it again. I might even get a darker color because who knows if I'm going to get more tan. I probably won't. Every summer I'm like, this is the summer, this is the beach summer. Do you guys do that at all? I don't know. Like, I'm like, this is the summer, I'm going to spend the entire summer at the beach. And then I go once, and I'm like, see, it's happening, we're at the beach. And then I get kind of tan, and I'm like really excited about it. I'm like talking to everyone about the beach constantly. And then I just like never go back to the beach. It was like a one-time thing. I mean, sometimes I do, but I feel like the most times I've been to a beach in the summer is like 5. Like, I feel like I never, like, am the person who's like, okay, as soon as the workday ends, I'm just, like, at the beach by myself. And I think it's because I'm not used to going to the beach by myself. Like, I do a lot of things by myself. I go to, like, movies by myself and, like, coffee shops by myself. And, like, I, like, eat by myself and stuff. It's, like, a thing that adults do, right? But, like, for some reason, when it comes to, like, the beach, I'm always, like, thinking about, like, you know, like, the perfect beach day, and it, like, is, like, part of it is, like, gathering all my friends, and, like, maybe, like, getting a good bottle of wine, or not a good bottle of wine, I'm, like, as if I'm pretending that I drink, good wine, like, I drink yummy wine, but it's usually under $10, you know, like, getting a good group together, and, like, going and doing, like, a whole beach day, like, I think I, like, never think about doing like a me time beach extravaganza, but it really would be easy. So I'm in Chicago, and you Midwesterners know that we call lake-related activities the beach. And they're like man-made beaches, there's sand. I was like talking to somebody about this, like, who lives on the East Coast recently, and they were like, Chicago doesn't have beaches. And I was like, okay, like, it is a beach, but it's just not, you know, it's not an ocean. It's a lake. It's lakeside beaches. So, anyway, that's what I'm referring to when I'm talking about the beach. But, like, I like, live right, so a lot of Chicago is, like, right on the lakeshore. And in the summer, like, the entire lakeshore is just, like, there's so many different beaches. And the entire lakeshore is just, like, packed with, like, folks who are, like, you know, doing, like, getting their summer in. Because, like, Chicagoans are, like, we have to fight for our summers. Like, we have really ridiculous weather here. And so when the summer comes, I feel like everyone comes up out of the woodwork, and, like, everyone's, like, going on their, like, summer runs. I wish I could get into running, you guys. I feel like every time, I don't know why I do this. I wonder if you guys do this. Part of it's, like, a fat girl thing, I think. Every time no, sorry. I'm not going to, like, make assumptions about any other fat girls. But, like, every time I'm with, like, my coworkers, and they're talking about, like, their running, or, like, what, because a lot of people do that, you know, it's, like, an easy conversation topic, I think, that people talk about. It's, like, preparing for, like, their marathons, or their 10Ks, or whatever the heck they prepare for. I'm always like, oh yeah, I've always been wanting to get into running. And then they, like, always, like, have this, like, conversation with me where they're, like, telling me all about how I can get into running. And, you know, it's, like, easy, or you could do the Couch to 5K, and, like, everyone has tips. Like, anytime you relay anything related to exercise or weight loss, I feel like everyone and their mother has, like, a gajillion and one tips for you. Like, even if, because I've noticed, like, even if I post, like, a Facebook status about, physical activity, like, I feel like almost in any way, like, even if it's not about, weight loss at all, or even if I post anything about diet or something, even if it's not about weight loss, you know, everyone and their mother jump in to give me their advice about weight loss. And it's like partly, like, I'm like, okay, like, people know that I'm somebody who talks about my body insecurities, and, like, I'm somebody who oftentimes is, like, maybe trying to lose weight or whatever. So it's like, okay, like, people are talking to me about weight loss. But, like, I feel like people come out of the woodwork sometimes who are, like, people I haven't talked to in, like, 10 years, like, 15 years, like, have no affiliation with me, and it's like those are the posts they like jump on. They're like, oh, I can tell you. I mean, and I get it. Like, everyone is living, you know, so like everyone has their own like tips and ticks. Everyone has their own like tricks and tips as to like how they stay healthy, and like people have things that like really work for them that I think that they are really eager to share, and it makes you know, it's like, it is like a giving thing. It's a generosity that they're like trying to give this advice, but I think sometimes we have to ask people, you know, like clarifying questions like what they're actually looking for, because like just because you're a fat woman doesn't mean you're necessarily trying to lose weight. So just putting that out there. My mind is definitely all over the place today. I'm like basically letting myself cool down and relax after just this like incredibly hectic week. My office does summer hours, so I get out at 2 p.m. tomorrow. And I feel like, you know, I kind of know what I'm going to do tomorrow because I know where I'm at with some projects and things. And so, I don't know, and I know that it's like very manageable and I'm like in a good place. So, I'm just feeling very good about everything because the last few weeks I've been, you know, very nervous, very, very nervous about work stuff and about making this push and about getting this project done that I've been working with my colleagues. And I think we still have some work to do, but we landed in a pretty good place that the majority of us like are very happy with, and we have some time to make things even better. So I think that it's all coming together, and I feel like I'm a part of a very productive team. And I really, really, really like my supervisor, and I really admire her. I really hope she never stumbles on any of these videos, but I do really admire her. You know what? I think that's one thing about nonprofit is that I have had like, I don't know, I've had like many very amazing female supervisors. And I realized the other day that I like talk a lot about women now on this channel and like the rights of women and like how we like spend all this emotional labor and how that's not okay and like all this stuff. And I was thinking about how like about inclusivity and how these like vast statements that I make about women like aren't always very inclusive of like non-binary folks. And so I wonder like how to be better about that while still centering, you know, while still talking about like women are marginalized, so like I can talk about women as a group, but I think as like our country is like, well, I don't know, I feel like we're taking a gajillion steps backwards all the time. This news about Kennedy is like really disheartening. I think I haven't even like fully processed it yet. Like I just don't know. I think I just don't know how to, like, because all these recent Supreme Court decisions that came out were just so bad, and like, I don't know, like he was like a glimmer of like, I don't know, like a lot of things were hinging on him, and now it's going to be like completely, like there's no split, you know, and like I mean, obviously it was kind of that way after Gorsuch came on. Oh my god, I always say his name wrong. But like, there were certain things in which we were surprised about the way that he voted even. So I think that it was like not like a completely destitute situation, and now it's like, okay, our judicial system is just gone now for the next like 10 years or something. Like, And when all these policies have been coming out that have been like so disastrous for marginalized folks and for like just like entire subsets of people, like the entire Muslim community, like all these like ridiculous things that have been coming out, it's like we have been so reliant, you know, throughout this process on the courts, on these like injunctions, and everybody has been, you know, watching this stuff really closely, and like even though some disappointing decisions have been coming out of the Supreme Court, it's like at least there's that, you know, there's like the thought, I mean, for me at least, there was like the thought process that like at least that we do live in a country that has checks and balances, and it just feels like, oh my goodness, it just feels like, I don't know, it's like, do we? I don't know. I don't like to mistrust my belief in our democracy. I don't think it's useful. I don't think it's useful because I want to try to be working within our system in order to change it. And so I don't know. Like, obviously so many things are broken, but it's like, I don't think it's useful to just like not participate in civic engagement or, you know, not try and work within the system that we have in place with Congress, an executive branch, and a judicial system. Like, this is a system that we have in place federally, and so like, and you know, and there are all these other things about like regulations and guidance and like all this stuff. So like, this is a system that we have. Like, it's obviously terribly flawed. But like, I really do believe in it, and I don't like spending too much time mulling on how I want a different system or something, because I don't know how to do that. Like, I really don't know how to do that. Like, maybe if I were to take up like socialism or something, like some kind of other movement or something, but it's like, that's such a small subset, like it's not going anywhere. Like, yes, Bernie Sanders like got kind of far, but it's like, I'm like very much a person who's like, we just have to work with what we have, and like, I really want to work with what we have. Like, I want to be in a place where I can influence policy making. So like, in order to do that, you can't just like sign petitions on the sideline for a different system, and you know, maybe I think you have to do both. You have to like advocate for things to change, but like you also have to work within it. I think I've talked about that on this channel before. But I don't like dwelling too much time on thinking about how useless certain things are when we say that we have an unbiased judicial system. Oh, sorry guys, I don't know where my black liner is for my water line. I'll be right back. Okay, well, I have like no idea where my pencil liner is. I just feel like all my makeup is like disappearing. It's like those things from Harry Potter that like steal your socks. So I found this random steal a liner, but it's like at the very end. I don't know if this is even gonna work. Oh man, that's so not working. Ooh, it showed up on my hand really well. Okay, wait. Let me just try to work with this. I'll be right back. So I think the thing is like, and I said this like 4 different ways, is that I feel like it's a waste of time to really, really question things so much, because this is what we have to work with. But on the other hand, it's like, the point, oh my gosh. Like, the point of the judicial system is for us to have an unbiased take of the laws or the executive action or whatever has been taken, and for us to reach a just conclusion that incorporates due process. And the fact that we basically know for sure that whatever party is in control will nominate a biased Supreme Court justice who will be staying on in that role for life, that just doesn't make sense to me. Because the whole point of it is that it's unbiased. It shouldn't be okay, somebody's retiring, and so then now we know exactly how, the courts are going to be voting moving forward, because we know that the nominations that are going to be put forward by the GOP and by the Trump administration are going to be so biased and so left and so right wing. So it's just what kind of system is that? That's clearly broken. Because I believe in the judicial system. I think that the court system makes a lot of sense to me. It makes more sense than a lot of other things do. And I just, wish that we could actually have unbiased, it's we're all human, so that's the way it is. But it's just, this country is so partisan that it's just, nothing is unbiased, and it's just, a big game. It just feels like a big game to me, I feel like. It's, so many people's lives are at stake, all of the migrant children, all the refugee children whose lives have been at stake for the past few months, held in this crazy limbo. It's just so off to me, that it's just all part of these internal politics. And the reason why we weren't able to come, one of the reasons why we haven't been able to come to a reasonable immigration compromise in this country is because it's an election season, and immigration is a tricky topic, and nobody wants to vote, nobody wants to vote the wrong way right now. You know what I mean? Republicans are scared of losing their, even though many, it's a really high percentage of folks that believe that we should keep DACA, and that believe that we should, provide a pathway to citizenship for the millions of these, young, undocumented individuals who did not, choose to come to this country. I mean, not that there are certain people who are deserving and undeserving, but, generally, we all agree that this is something that needs to happen, and, it's really crappy that because it's election season, Republicans are scared to, vote a certain way. That just, bothers me a lot. I don't know. So, these things are all, really bothersome to me. I don't want games to be, determining whether or not somebody gets to be in a safe place with their family. I don't want games determining whether somebody gets to escape domestic violence, or whether marginalized folks from Muslim majority countries get to come to the U.S. as scholars or whatever. It just seems ridiculous that those things tend to be based on what reads to me as frankly extreme silliness, and a lot of it is rooted in naivety and because I honestly think that racism is, it's rooted, it is rooted in hate, but even more so it's just a lack of knowledge about a lot of things. And our president is absolutely racist. It's very clear. He's made a gajillion and one racist comments, and very discriminatory comments against Muslim people. He's made comments against Latinx folks and Black Americans and everything else, and we all know this. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows that our president is a racist, and yet, you know, it's stuff like that that does make me question the system, and I like don't like doing that because, like I said, I think it is a massive waste of time. It's not a waste of time to question the system, but if you already just know, if you just already are very aware of all the things that are corrupt, I don't know, I feel like it's just like a recipe for being very sad and frustrated. I am very, very interested in being in a position where I could actually make a difference. Even if it is, okay, yes, a compromise, I guess. And I have a lot of friends that don't see things that way. That, you know, a compromise that could devastate a few people while saving, you know, some other folks, maybe that's not fair. Like, what did those, you know, I don't know. But I don't know what else to do. Like, I feel like I'm doing everything that I can to play my part to, like, end oppression in this country and make things better. And I don't know, maybe I could be doing more. What are you guys doing? What should I do? Should we do more? We should do more. Okay, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to dry my hair, and then I will say goodbye to y'all. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around with me and letting me talk to you about politics for like the past half an hour. Sorry about that. I did not mean to go in that direction. It's been a rough week, I think, federally, and if we have looked at the decisions that came out by SCOTUS on Tuesday, so, you know, it's just been rough. I don't typically try to talk about that stuff on here. I mean, I just haven't. You haven't heard me. But if it's interesting to you, I can continue to talk about it, though, you know, obviously these issues are, like, extremely sensitive, and we are a very divided country and blah, 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 so I don't know. We can also just talk about makeup or boys or whatever. Not that my content is ever light. I feel like it's always, like, very, like, heavy. But like usually more in like the like mental health, personal drama category. But anyway, okay, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and I will chat with y'all soon. Bye.